There's a new way to run ads for SaaS companies in 2026, and the companies following these best practices are absolutely crushing it. The ones that aren't, they're getting left behind. So in this video, I'm gonna show you everything about the new way to run Facebook ads in 2026. The strategy, the offer, the funnel, and exactly how to implement it. Now, before I do, let me introduce myself. My name is Alessandro Cutri, and I've worked with 50 plus SaaS, tech, and AI companies, and I've helped them generate millions in revenue and in pipeline. So everything I'm sharing with you today is what's actually working right now for our clients. So let's get right into it. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna talk about is the old way that used to work running Facebook ads, so you know exactly what not to do, and then we'll talk about what the new way actually looks like. So the old way, let's map it out real quick. What used to work with Facebook ads is pretty simple. You used to be able to run lead forms where you'd be able to get people's information natively on Facebook and get really cheap signups, but the issue with running lead forms now is that the quality is super low, and so they really don't work as effectively as they used to. Now, you can still run these. You have to be super tight with your qualification questions that you're asking on the lead form. And you can even run a lead form where you require someone to send a code and then they can put that code in. But I would just scrap these altogether. We actually don't run lead forms for our clients, and we only run funnel opt-ins. We'll talk more about that in just a second and later in the video. But the second thing that you used to be able to get away with, that you're not able to get away with now, is not having a cold traffic offer. So basically what a cold traffic offer is basically taking your product and really leaning into the outcome that your product delivers, and also maybe attaching some form of guarantee to it or attaching some type of time frame to it as well. So you didn't really have to have a cold traffic offer before in the past when it wasn't as competitive to run Facebook ads. Now the biggest thing is that there's a lot more competition, and you have to make sure that you're really standing out with your product so that you can book in cheaper calls and close more deals. And so that was more of the old way to run Facebook ads, and really some of the biggest things that you want to make sure that you're not doing moving forward. Now let's go ahead and talk about what the new way to run Facebook ads looks like. So first of all, the new way is knowing your numbers. Now this is key before you start running any type of ad, because you want to understand what you're optimizing for. So you don't really have a goalpost. You don't really have a target that you're trying to hit. Instead, you're flying blind, and you could actually have a profitable campaign, but you don't think it's profitable because you're basing your decisions off of emotion instead of actual logic. So you want to map out, what does my target CAC look like? What does my target LTV look like? And so once you understand that, you can then break down your campaigns in terms of if something is not working. So your CAC is going to consist of a couple of different components. It's going to consist of your cost per qualified book call. It's also going to consist of your show rate. It's going to consist of your close rate. So you can understand that, okay, well, if my CAC is high, then I need to fix one of these three things. I need to book calls at a cheaper rate, or I need to close more of these calls that actually show up. Those are all things that influence your CAC. The second thing that you're going to really want to pay attention to is your payback period, because this is super important for you guys in understanding cash flow and managing cash flow, because if you're taking a long time to receive the cash that you put out as an investment in these ads, it's going to be much harder for you to scale, and you're going to have to wait much longer to be able to scale. For example, if it takes 12 months for you to be able to get your money back from your investment, you're gonna have to wait 12 months until your net positive ROI on that ad itself to then be able to reinvest back into the ad. So you wanna make sure that your payback period is less than 6 months. And in some cases, you wanna make sure that you're making money day one, right? If you can actually structure your offer that way, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, so now that you understand how important knowing your numbers is, the second thing that we're gonna do, like we were talking about earlier, is drafting your cold traffic offer, right? So your cold traffic offer, you wanna make sure that you're really emphasizing the outcome of what you provide. You can take the exact same product that you have and just turn it into an actual cold traffic offer by making sure you're focusing on the outcome. So let's just use this for a sake of example. Let's say that you have a sales CRM, right? You don't want to talk about the fact that you're just a sales CRM. You don't want to say, hey, we're going to implement our sales CRM into your business so you can have more visibility into your sales reporting, right? That's super weak. Instead, you want to talk about how the sales CRM can directly impact the revenue, right? So, hey, close 20% more deals by being able to follow up with your hottest leads right now. Something along the lines of that, but really emphasizing the actual outcome. And even better if you can attach some form of guarantee or some form of risk reversal on the actual offer statement itself. This is going to help you convert better from cold traffic and also get more people to book in calls with you. That's the whole goal of an offer. It's to get people to book in calls, and it's also going to help you out on the sales side of things. So now that we've understood your cold traffic offer, we now want to write ads to our market using that cold traffic offer. So these are the ads that we want to write. We want to write both video and we want to write static ads, right? Static are just image-based ads, right? We want to test both to see which perform best in our market. Now, for the structure of these ads, they're going to follow a very similar structure. And to basically think about the difference between the two is that a static, you have to be much more concise, whereas a video, you can speak anywhere from 90 seconds to 120 seconds, right? Those are the best performing ad lengths that we figured out. What you're going to want to say in each of these formats is you're going to want to basically have an ICP call out, which is basically you calling out your target market, whatever that looks like. Then you're going to want to have a pain point hook or some variation of a hook, right? That draws them in, that basically says, oh, wow, this is interesting. interesting, or ooh, this speaks to me. Then you want to have your offer statement that we just created, which is that cold traffic offer. And then you want to have proof that you can actually deliver on that offer statement. And then you want to have a CTA, right, to the next page. Now, basically, your video and static ads should follow these formats in some type of way. You want to make sure that they each follow these formats. And you can also interchange this, right? So you can start with the offer statement at the beginning. You can put the pain points at the bottom. You can start the proof at the beginning. You can change these 3 different sections here and reposition them to get more variability within your ad itself. So on your first launch, you're going to want to create about 15 to 20 different video ads. And you're going to want to create about the same thing on the static ads, 15 to 20 different static ads. And you don't want to put these in the same ad set. You're going to want to put these in what we call a CBO. And we'll talk about later that in terms of the actual structure itself. And you're going to want to test both of these, what we see at about $150 a day to start, at least. If you're testing anything less than that, you're not going to really get enough data to come through the funnel. Hey, real quick, everything I'm walking through in this video is the exact system we build out for our SaaS clients. We help SaaS companies build out their entire paid system from the offer all the way through the funnel and the campaign. And we work on a performance basis and even cover your first $3,000 of ad spend while we dial in your performance. So if that's something you're interested, there's a link below where you can book a call with me and we'll see if you're a good fit. Anyways, let's get right back into it. Okay, so the next thing that you want to talk about now that you've actually built out the ads is the landing page, right? So where are you sending the traffic after somebody clicks on your ad? Now, it's super important that you get these elements right of your landing page. Otherwise, you're going to leave a lot of money on the table and you're not going to be able to book calls at a good rate. The first thing with a landing page is you want to make sure that you have your main headline, which is basically your offer statement. So you want to put that on your main headline, and you want to also have a sub headline, which is going to talk about what you guys do and the proof that you have of why you can make such a bold claim in terms of the main headline. Then you want to have a video sales letter section. So you want to have a VSL, and on this VSL, you want to have it be a half talking head video like you're seeing right now and a half demo of your actual product and what your product can actually do. So the next thing underneath the VSL system, you want to have a CTA button that basically says, hey, click this to get more details. After that, you want to have a false solution section, which basically talks about all the different solutions that they could choose and why those aren't the right solution and why your solution is the best solution for them. And then you want to have a process overview. So explaining exactly how your tool works or product works and how you can help them get that main offer in the headline with the process. The next thing that you're going to have is a case study section. So showing other companies or other people just like them getting results, proof, testimonials, whatever you can have, just basically put a whole bunch of proof showing that you can actually back up your claim in terms of what you're talking about on the offer page. Next thing you want to have is an FAQ section, which basically talks about all the commonly asked questions that people are asking about your product and handles objections beforehand. Last thing that you want to have is another CTA button, right? So you want to have 2 CTA buttons and you want to have these different sections here on your landing page so you can make sure that you're giving your prospects enough information to book a call with you. That's exactly what you want to do with this landing page. Is you want to give them enough information to book a call with you. You don't want to overload them with information, but you want to give them enough so that they can trust you and say, you know what, I want to take a look at their product. So then after they click the landing page, you want to set up what's called an application to filter out any unqualified leads hitting your calendar. And the best application tool that we've used is Typeform. So you want to just use Typeform and ask them 2 to 3 qualifying questions that make sure that they fit your target market. And this is going to be important also in training the pixel, which is a little bit more technical side of things. So you only get qualified people booking with you. So you can send those people that book back to Meta and say, hey, these are qualified leads. Find me more like these people. So you want to ask 2 to 3 qualifying questions. You don't want to do more because it's too much friction, which is going to cause your cost per calls to rise. And the next thing is you want to make sure that in the Typeform, you have it embedded to a Calendly so that it feeds through everything that they've already put in, such as their name, their email, and their phone number into the Calendly automatically. So they're not having to do that a second time, which also causes more drop off. And then on that Calendly, they can then go ahead and book a call. So the next step after booking a call is what we call our pre-call sequence. What you're going to want on your pre-call sequence is things that educate them before the call, that nurture them and have them show up more warm so they're easier to close on that call itself. So an easy thing to do is actually redirect them right after they book a call to what's called a confirmation page. Now on this confirmation page, we want to have what are called FAQ videos that answer commonly asked questions and address their objections. So on that confirmation page, we're going to have 6 to 8 different FAQ videos that they can watch and do research on us before, right? So that's the whole purpose of that page. And then after that confirmation page, we're also going to have a pre-call email sequence that is going to go out. In this email sequence, we want to have about 6 to 8 different emails that we can send before the call actually happens. Same thing, it's going to be addressing commonly asked questions. It's going to be sending over case studies. It's going to be giving them value-dense insights. We don't want to be spamming these people with just like, hey, make sure you show up to the call. No, we want to be giving them information that actually educates them and tells them exactly why you guys are the best fit for them. And on top of the email sequence, we want to make make sure that we're doing manual follow-up. Now, this is super important in making sure that your show rate's high, which is gonna decrease your CAC, I should say. And also it's gonna make sure that you warm up those leads on top of what you're doing. So for example, making sure that you're reaching out to people within 5 minutes of them booking. And then also even sending over video messages and saying, hey, John, just see that you booked a call with me. I'm looking forward to our demo on Thursday at 2 p.m. In the meantime, I've sent you over some materials that I feel like would be relevant to our conversation. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to prepare beforehand before that call, right? Super simple, getting to know them, building trust with them. It's super important. After you have that manual follow-up, you're then gonna obviously do the sales call. And on that sales call, you wanna make sure that you're really tailoring the demo to them. Don't start off just by showing your product, ask them questions, do a discovery, make sure that you're understanding what they're looking for, and then demo your product, okay? And that is the new way to run Facebook ads in 2026. So if you think about it, we just covered the entire system from start to finish. You know your numbers before you spend a single dollar, you have a cold traffic offer that actually converts, your ads are written to speak directly to your ICP, your funnel is built to build trust and book qualified calls, and your pre-call sequence makes sure every prospect shows up warm and ready to buy. That's the new way to run ads for your SaaS company in 2026. And look, knowing this strategy is one thing, but building it out correctly and actually getting it profitable is a whole different game. So if you're a SaaS company and you want help building this whole system out from end to end so it actually generates consistent pipeline, there's a link below where you can watch a full breakdown of exactly how we do it, and you can book a call with me. Other than that, make sure to like the video and then drop a comment below letting me know what your biggest challenge is right now with paid ads, and I'll get back with you on some advice for that. And subscribe for more. So I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.